Thanks so much for joining us as we take you around San Diego. I'm CBS 8's Jenny Day. I'll get you caught up on a week's worth of news and look ahead in just 30 minutes. We do begin with our top story, though, and it involves 2 children killed in a police pursuit crash in Mountain View. This is 8-year-old Malachi Orozco Romero and his brother, 4-year-old Mason. Right now, there's a growing memorial for the boys near that crash site. It all happened on the 805 near the 43rd Street exit just last Friday night. Police say they were chasing after a suspect when he hit another car, sending it down the embankment and into a tree. The car caught on fire with the 2 boys inside, their mother and another woman as well inside that car. We talked to the boys' godmother. She says their mother will need spinal surgery. Police say they did arrest the 20-year-old suspect shortly after the crash. He pleaded not guilty in court earlier this week. Well, the San Diego Police Department does have a policy to call off high-speed pursuits if they endanger the public. CBS 8's David Godfredson talked to a public safety advocate who says more needs to be done to limit the situations where officers are allowed to chase vehicles.
Keep passing 3 for pursuit, 32 in Ocean View northbound.
Friday night, just after 6 p.m., San Diego police officers are chasing a BMW.
Still continuing 805 south, trying to catch up.
The police dispatcher asks why officers are pursuing the vehicle with lights and sirens. The response? Traffic violations.
Speed and no front headlights.
On the 805 south exit to 43rd Street, police say the driver plows into a Honda carrying 8-year-old Malachi Orozco Romero and his little brother, 4-year-old Mason Orozco Romero. The Honda hit a tree and burst into flames. Both children are killed.
We need a fire extinguisher.
I need a fire extinguisher. Fire isn't around.
Okay, also we have multiple kids here. We need multiple fire units.
The children's mother remains in critical condition. Police say the BMW was being driven by 20-year-old Angel Salgado. He was arrested after a foot chase. San Diego police has a policy to call off high-speed pursuits. They take into consideration public safety, the seriousness of the offense, and the risk to officers. This pursuit only lasted 4 minutes, and there is no indication on the police radio that supervisors tried to stop it.
There's so many ways to obtain suspects. You do not have to chase them. That is the most dangerous way of apprehending the suspects.
Esther Saronis is with the Texas-based Pursuit Safety nonprofit. Her husband was an innocent bystander killed as a result of a police chase in 2012.
More than 90% of chases are performed for non-violent felony crimes. So what Pursuit Safety advocates for is only chasing when there's a violent felony crime.
She says California law provides immunity to police officers involved in high-speed collisions.
It needs to change because innocent victims' lives are too valuable, too beautiful to be lost over somebody who was speeding.
Salgado remains in custody. His arraignment is set for Wednesday afternoon in downtown court. In Mountain View, David Godfredson, CBS 8.
Yeah, tough story all around, David. Thank you. Well, a National City woman, once named Teacher of the Year, has been ordered to stand trial for allegedly having inappropriate relationships with 2 Lincoln Acres Elementary School students. It was an emotional day in court during Jaclyn Ma's preliminary hearing. The lead detective on the case spent most of the day on the witness stand going through graphic details of what allegedly went on between Ma and the 2 young boys. At one point, text messages found on one of the boys' iPads was read aloud in court.
You know what I'm talking about, Miss Ma. Oh my God, do not forget my underwear is in your pocket. John Doe 1, I'm at my grandma's. Sorry, I was doing some SUM. Miss Ma, that's okay, just making sure you hide it.
Were there other photos?
One of the young victims did take the stand. Members of the public and media were not allowed in the courtroom for that testimony. The judge ruled that there's an overwhelming amount of evidence Ma took advantage of 2 children and the trial can move forward. Well, former San Diego State Aztec punter Matt Arisa is speaking out after his attorneys announced the lawsuit accusing him of taking part in a gang rape will be formally dismissed. As part of an agreement, Arisa will now drop his defamation lawsuit against the woman who was suing him. Neither side will pay any money. Arisa says he's focused on getting his life and football career back and is thankful to close this difficult chapter.
When you sue someone, you're kind of playing with house money. Her life wasn't affected. She didn't lose her job. Her life wasn't on pause throughout all this, but mine was.
Are you angry?
I am, but there comes a point where you have to move on, and I have to focus on my life and being successful and happy and doing what I can.
Arisa said he plans to sue Jane Doe's attorney, Dan Gillian, accusing Gillian of lying about him in the media multiple times. We reached out to Dan Gillian for comment, but so far haven't heard back. Well, we now know the identity of the man police say was killed in a shootout with officers in 4S Ranch last week. Thursday night, police say they got reports that 46-year-old Curtis Harris had stolen a car. They say they found the car in a Ralph's parking lot near Camino del Norte. Officers say Harris fired at them when he exited the store, hitting a sergeant in the head. 3 officers shot back at Harris. He did later die at the hospital. The sergeant, though, is expected to be okay. The San Diego County Sheriff's Department is investigating that shooting. Well, we are also learning more about a lawsuit filed by nearly a dozen San Diego Unified police officers against the district and its chief. The lawsuit was first announced back in August, alleging a relationship between Chief Alfonso Contreras and Sergeant Jennifer Gruner. They say that it was causing conflict within the department, and this week new details were announced. An officer is now claiming she was sexually assaulted by Chief Contreras back when he was still a sergeant.
The female officer's allegation, Contreras was her sergeant at the time. The assault has now been reported to Human Resources, but the officer involved still reports directly to Contreras' girlfriend, Sergeant Gruner.
Yeah, the officers behind the lawsuit say hostility in the workplace has only gotten worse since it was announced back in August. You can read more on that lawsuit on CBS8.com. Well, right now, police are asking for your help after a major breakthrough in a decades-old cold case. We now know the name of the so-called bag lady who was brutally murdered in Pacific Beach back in 1981. The woman's body was found on Garnett Avenue, and thanks to a DNA match and help of Project Justice, we've learned her name is Elaine Armstrong. She was 51 years old from Kalamazoo, Michigan, and was homeless at the time of her murder.
Just been a part of the community, and people had, seen her around, and there was so many cases like that where there was somebody that nobody really knows their name or their story, that they're around the community, and people have like the little names for them and stuff, and we're glad to be able to give her real name back.
Yeah, police say anyone with information should call Crime Stoppers. Well, we are also learning that 1 Marine is dead and 14 others are injured after a training incident at Camp Pendleton. This all happened on Tuesday when an amphibious combat vehicle rolled over. The Marine who died has been identified as Sergeant Matthew Bilski, and he was assigned to the 15th Marine Expeditionary Unit. Meanwhile, another San Diego man, Michael McDowell's son, died in a similar incident in 2019. He's now an advocate for safety during these kinds of trainings.
Every time there's a death and a rollover, I reach out after probably 2 weeks to the family in a very diplomatic way and say, look, I've been through this. We're now in a club nobody wants to be in, but I can guide you through the inquiry.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? So the cause of this accident still under investigation. And Border Patrol has dropped off more than 50,000 migrants in San Diego County over the past few months. Local cities and nonprofits say they are feeling the strain of the migrant crisis, on top of the continued homeless crisis as well. A lot of the pressure is falling on local organizations who provide food, water, and medical assistance to those seeking asylum.
There's absolutely a concern. There's a concern that a lot of our organizations are being tasked to do work that really should be the work of the federal government.
The County Board of Supervisors is giving $6 million to help maintain a migrant center ran by South Bay Community Services. But advocates say more will be needed soon. They also tell CBS 8 an improved asylum process plus better coordination between government agencies could help. And a judge says he'll have a decision next week on whether to stop an upcoming rodeo planned at Petco Park. We were expecting a decision this week, with the event now just 4 weeks away. Two animal rights groups are arguing the rodeo violates city code, which prohibits non-service animals inside Petco Park. But the Padres attorney says it's the public that cannot bring non-service animals to the park and that the guidance is not related to events put on at the venue. The hearing went on for about 2 hours, and the judge decided to give the defense more time to respond. Well, right now, a campaign is underway to get rid of SDG&E as San Diego's energy provider. A group of activists is fed up with high energy bills and wants to replace the power company. CBS 8's Shannon Handy has those details, including how many signatures are needed and how SDG&E is responding.
SDG&E has a franchise agreement with the City of San Diego to provide gas and electricity until 2031, with the option of extending it another 10 years. A group called Power San Diego is looking to change that, but they'll need 80,000 signatures to get started. For as long as anyone can remember, SDG&E has always been San Diego's energy provider. SDG&E, stop the steal! But frustration over high bills has now turned into a campaign to try something new.
Power San Diego is a grassroots campaign that is trying to fire SDG&E.
Dory Brugman is Power San Diego's campaign manager. Last week, the group started collecting signatures to qualify for the 2024 ballot. They have until May 14th to get 80,000, but are aiming for 120,000 just in case.
Our task is really just getting enough people out there on the streets so that everybody who wants to sign our petition is able to.
The initiative only applies to San Diego residents. Power San Diego wants to replace SDG&E with a nonprofit, publicly owned utility which promises to offer lower rates on electricity, starting around 20% less than what SDG&E customers pay now. Brugman says it's been done before, including in more than 40 cities across California alone.
LA has a not-for-profit public utility, Sacramento does, and their rates are up to 65% lower than what we have here in San Diego.
So how would it actually work? Brugman explained if approved by voters, SDG&E would be required to sell its power grid poles and other equipment to the new utility. All of that would be financed through a low-interest municipal bond paid off by ratepayers.
So we would have public ownership of the electrical grid, which means that within the city of San Diego, we no longer have to pay SDG&E for those delivery fees.
She says that's the difference between this initiative and San Diego Community Power, a nonprofit that sources energy yet still has to rely on SDG&E for delivery.
Their rates are not quite as low as we would like because of that.
In response, a spokesperson for SDG&E tells CBS 8 pushing a flawed ballot measure that presents serious financial risk to the city and taxpayers is a dangerous precedent. This move places the safety and reliability of the power grid in jeopardy. We are confident SDG&E remains the best option for San Diego customers given our outstanding safety record, climate innovation, and unmatched reliability. You can only sign the petition in person if you're interested in doing that or becoming a volunteer to collect signatures. We have that information up on our website. Just go to cbs8.com and click on this story. Reporting for CBS 8, I'm Shannon Handy.
Shannon, thanks as always. Well, students packed this week's Sweetwater Union High School District Board meeting, calling for their electives to be saved, not cut. Many of the students say that the courses teach them skills they need for life after graduation. CBS 8's Esmeralda Perez talked with school staff and students about what this could mean for them and their futures.
Students at Southwest High School showed up tonight to the district school board meeting after they found out some of their elective classes could be taken away.
Thanks to this program, I figured out what I wanted to do with my life.
The Career Technical Education program offers many classes at Southwest High School, including culinary, dance, and sports medicine. However, they may soon be eliminated.
One hand gave these teachers a great raise and put them on the teacher schedule, and the other hand sent them to the school site where they'll probably be released because the principals can't afford these extra teachers.
The decision to cut the program comes amid budget concerns. The teachers recently negotiated a contract, and Cynthia tells us funding for CTE staff is now the responsibility of the school.
I think it's really unfair that our opportunities are getting taken away just because they want to raise the salaries of the board members.
5 years ago, Southwest High School implemented an 8th period day, allowing students the opportunity to take college prep classes and an elective. Cynthia says in those 5 years, the school has tripled its college acceptance rate. It's the reason some students are attending Southwest High School.
If the classes aren't available, pull him out of the school. And he's one of those A+ students that, does good, his grades are good. So if he's not going to have the opportunity there, I'm not going to keep him in that school.
This program allows students to take classes in their field of interest and set them up for what they want to do after graduation. It's the reason many students and parents showed up tonight, even exceeding capacity and leaving some people standing outside.
I'm really furious that our district is taking a few $100,000 per site and destroying the kids' future.
Sweetwater High School District could not give a statement since the item was not on the agenda tonight. Students hope that by coming out, board members can reconsider their decisions. Esmeralda Perez, CBS 8.
Esmeralda, thank you so much for that report. It's interesting. Well, right now, hundreds of ADUs are being built across San Diego, but one industry analyst says they will do little to solve our housing crisis.
It's just a small Band-Aid approach where we're adding little tiny increments of housing, but this isn't a long-term solution. What we're missing and where the big crisis is family housing. 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom units to replace single-family homes that are no longer being built.
Yeah, so real estate economist Nathan Motor says rents for ADUs, granny flats, usually aren't cheap. And with San Diego running out of space, he thinks we'll need to build more townhomes, which can be affordable for families and still allow developers to make a profit, giving them an incentive to build them. It's estimated that San Diego needs to be building around 15,000 new units a year. Last year, the city approved just over 5,300. Motor added that ADUs are a needed product, but for a very tiny targeted audience. Well, despite the positive signs shown in a new report, one term trending online is called silent depression. Simply put, it says that the current state of the economy with high gas, rent, and food prices is a bigger financial strain than that of the Great Depression. But economists say that data from the 1930s isn't always reliable because the government didn't keep records well back then, and programs like Social Security, welfare, and food stamps didn't exist. Charlie Doherty, a Wells Fargo economist, tells CBS 8 that gas prices will drop, food prices will stabilize, and rent prices will ease up soon, but people could still lose their jobs.
As economic growth slows and potentially contracts, that will likely bring a somewhat higher rate of unemployment.
Doherty says that the tourism industry is staying strong. Glad to hear some good news. Well, right now, backyard rooster complaints are on the rise in San Diego, with the most coming from Encanto. Data that CBS 8 got shows 195 people filed rooster complaints to San Diego's Get It Done app this year. That's an increase from 131 last year. The complaints range from the single word rooster to others describing the rooster's crowing being disruptive. One neighbor says that he had roosters years ago, but eventually did get rid of them.
We felt they were too loud. We respect our neighbors, and we didn't want any more baby chickens, running around.
There's that wake-up call. Yeah, the city prohibits anyone from keeping roosters on their property. The city sends violation letters asking for the removal of roosters if they get a complaint, but it's considered a low priority. Well, a mystery respiratory illness is sending some dog owners into panic. The San Diego County Health and Human Services Agency says they are monitoring the disease but have no cases here. CBS 8's Abby Black talked to the Humane Society about what precautions to take to keep your pup healthy this season.
The San Diego Humane Society says that it's not treated any dogs with this mystery respiratory illness, but they still are encouraging pet owners to get their dogs vaccinated.
What do you think?
Dr. Zara Hedge, Chief Medical Officer at the San Diego Humane Society, says she's aware of the unknown respiratory illness outbreak in dogs that's stumping veterinarians across the country, but it hasn't hit San Diego.
At this time, there's no reason to panic. I think it's just a matter of risk, and
in all honesty, I'm not afraid to take my own dog out to places.
But some dog owners are afraid to even take their dog to a park, groomer, or board them during the holidays. We spoke to some at the Humane Society's vaccine clinic who say they're not worried but taking precautions.
I'm just being cautious when I take her out to those places to kind of look for things like that could be around from other dogs and such.
There you go. I've been looking into things and learning a lot. So this is my first dog. So I'm just trying to be very cautious.
Dr. Hedge says don't confuse this with the shelter's strep zoo outbreak from last month. It's been resolved, but there's still a temporary halt on dog surrenders until January 2nd.
Our outbreak that we had last month is different than what's going on nationwide, and that concern, we know what ours is. Ours is really a respiratory disease that's very much related to animal shelters.
This mystery illness in dogs doesn't have a name, but has been described as an atypical canine infectious respiratory disease. There's not a national reporting system like you say with the CDC, but there are cases popping up in at least 14 states, including in California and Los Angeles.
There's a lot of experts now that are thinking it's probably one of our general respiratory pathogens.
Dr. Hedge believes that since the test is expensive, some owners will wait to take their dog to the vet, and by that time, the pup has already shed the mystery virus or bacteria.
In dogs that aren't getting better, they may say, oh, now we should test, but it's been a month or 2 months, and so that dog is not going to probably test positive for anything.
If your dog is showing signs of heavy breathing, nasal or eye discharge, and not their happy self, call your vet. But most importantly, Dr. Hedge says, keep their vaccines up to date.
Make sure that your dog has all the preventive care to reduce the chance of them getting sick from the diseases that we know about.
Abby Black, CBS 8.
Abby, thank you. Well, it will take nearly a year before Chula Vista's Harborside Park is back open. The city council voted unanimously Tuesday night in favor of reopening the park, but several safety improvements need to be made before that can happen. That includes adding permanent fencing, better lighting, and security cameras. If approved at a meeting next month, the city estimates the work will cost just over $1 million and take about 8 months to finish. Well, a 52-foot fin whale washed ashore in Pacific Beach over the weekend, and now marine researchers are trying to figure out why it died. CBS 8's Brian White reports.
Fin whales, so we have them off our coast, but we don't commonly get to see them on shore, so that part is uncommon.
Researchers from NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, were on scene in Pacific Beach Sunday, but the fin whale's cause of death was not abundantly clear.
We also examined it for any signs of human interaction to see if there could have been a ship strike or some kind of entanglement, which there was not.
With no propeller damage or other visible signs of trauma, researchers took blubber and skin samples that may give them more insight into what happened.
But they'll be able to see things like hormone levels, which can see if there were signs of stress to the animal. They can also see if there was any toxins in the blood, which might have happened from a toxic algae bloom.
Vanessa Zobel with the Scripps Institution of Oceanography says fin whales can grow to be 80 feet in length, making them the second largest animal on the planet, only behind blue whales. They tend to stay offshore in deeper waters, making them rarely seen near the coast. This was a pregnant fin whale that washed ashore in November 2011 near the Point Loma wastewater treatment plant after being struck by a ship. A few days later, it was towed back out to sea. It took 14,000 pounds of steel to sink that dead whale off the coast of San Diego.
When these whales sink, it can actually create a really amazing ecosystem in the deep sea called a whale fall. And whale falls can sustain deep sea organisms with something to feast on for decades.
On Sunday, the beached fin whale was towed out to sea by lifeguards, and depending on wind direction and ocean currents, it could possibly wash back ashore in a matter of days.
If it does come back to shore, it will probably be much more degraded than it was. So hopefully it can stay out there and keep the nutrients out in the ocean. Otherwise, we might have to take it out again and then sink it.
I'm Brian White for CBS 8.
Gosh, we really are just coexisting with these incredible creatures. Brian, thanks. Well, an Escondido street veterinarian is getting national recognition for his extraordinary acts in our community. He's well known for taking care of pets whose owners are experiencing homelessness. As CBS 8's Ariana Cohen reports, his kind gestures are now taking center stage, winning CNN's Hero of the Year and a $100,000 prize.
Come here. This San Diego veterans nonprofit Project Street Vet provides medical care to the pets of people experiencing homelessness.
Can you sit? Yeah, good boy.
He's Dr. Quan Stewart. CBS 8 followed him through East Village last year as he treated pets and even helped donate a new car to a homeless veteran who was living on the streets with his dog.
Wow, thank you. Thank you.
The 2023 CNN Hero of the Year is Dr. Quan Stewart.
And now he's CNN's Hero of the Year.
An act or gesture of kindness can change somebody's life. Thank you.
His dream started as a little boy.
I was a promising track athlete, and a coach came up to me and he said, "You got talent. Like, what do you want to do after high school?" And I proudly said, "I'm going to be a veterinarian." He chuckled and said, "I've never met a black veterinarian." And I just said, "Well, I guess I'll be the first."
His journey was challenging since he thought about quitting after he was forced to euthanize an increasing number of animals that were being surrendered. That's when he decided to switch gears and help these pets living on the streets.
That was the moment. That's when I said to myself, I'm going to do more of this. I'm going to get back to saving animals on my terms. And I'm going to do it for passion, not for pay.
Today, he can treat 80% of the cases he sees with just a small bag at no cost to the people he helps, and hopes to continue to aid pets across the country. A hero who doesn't do this for the awards, but instead to spread kindness.
All right, baby, come here. We're going to make you feel better.
Even surprising the crowd with one more act of generosity.
This part certainly wasn't planned, but the 100,000 I want to celebrate with all of you. It splits evenly 10 ways pretty nicely. So it is my contribution to all of us. I want to say I'm honored to know you.
Ariana Cohen, CBS 8.
How incredibly generous. I have goosebumps to give to everyone. And yeah, really just not all heroes wear capes. Ariana, thanks. Well, many Catholics honored Our Lady of Guadalupe this week. The religious tradition mixes faith, culture, and history. We found celebrations all over San Diego, like at Our Lady of Guadalupe Church in Barrio Logan. People prayed, played music, danced, and ate in honor of the Virgin Mary.
It's special for me to show my kids that my traditions.
To me, it's very, very emotional, very important. She's my mother. She's always by my side in the hardest moments of my life.
It's such a beautiful tradition. So El Dia de la Virgen de Guadalupe commemorates the belief Our Lady of Guadalupe appeared in front of a boy named Juan Diego in the 16th century. Well, you know it. Holiday shopping season is in full swing, and many shoppers are at one of the busiest border crossings to shop and find the best deals. CBS 8's Ariana Cohen also visited several mom and pop shops in San Cedro.
Yes, I had a little fun doing some holiday shopping all around San Cedro, finding some great deals and unique finds like this beanie I have on and these cute slippers. Check out what else I found today. San Cedro has one of the world's busiest border crossings. It's turned into a shopping mecca, welcoming visitors to discover hidden treasures and take advantage of seasonal sales. I first stopped at Carolyn's Shoes on San Cedro Boulevard. They have great deals on winter coats, boots, backpacks, and more. 18-year-old Carolina Lynn works here. Her mother started the family business.
She moved from Mexico here, and then my dad moved from Taiwan, and they needed to start something new. It was kind of difficult to find jobs, so making their own business was, I think, the most efficient way for them to make money. By coming here, you're going to help our business and making profit.
Around the corner is Sunny Perfumes, a discount store where people can buy brand name perfumes at a lower price and resell it for profit.
I've been here in the business like from last 16 years now, same location. So that's what we do. People buy from us and they resell it. So they make money on that. and you get much better deal from all the big brand names here. The shop local, we are located in the San Cedro Boulevard, please do visit us.
And not too far away is Prime Shoes and More on San Cedro Boulevard. The store offers a variety of designer items at lower prices, from sparkly shoes, boots, to warm coats and clothing. I made a final stop at Bargain Bazaar, a family-owned business with an array of discounted items, including colorful blankets, clothing, and hats that kids love.
It's a very different than going to a big box store. We provide that at very cheap costs, so you maybe end up buying 10, 15 items and not even spend $100. Happy holidays to everybody, and stay safe out there, and just come, support local businesses.
Check out and see what you can find for the holidays. The San Cedro shopping experience promises something for everyone. Ariana Cohen, CBS 8.
Good stuff, Ariana. Thank you. And hey, before we go, the big man in red visited Sharp Mary Burge Hospital this week to visit the babies in the NICU. Santa Claus made his special annual visit to the babies and their families who may not get to spend the holidays at home this year. We talked to one mom who said it was a very special moment to get to see her new baby, Luciano, enjoy that piece of Christmas.
It was really nice to see that he's still able to enjoy that part of Christmas, even though he's in here. It was really nice to be able to get a picture with him and Santa.
Oh, for sure. So Alexa says she is hopeful that baby Luciano will get to come home in the next couple of days. He's looking good there. And of course, get to spend Christmas with the family. As always, thank you for your time. Thank you for staying informed. Happy holidays. For CBS 8, I'm Jenny Day. Take such good care.